Well, hey guys, this is Ben Potter, and over the holiday season I picked up some new gear, and so I just wanted to take an opportunity to just kind of show you the rig that I'm running through and stuff, so that as I release future videos, you're not like, hey, when did he get all that and all of that. So just wanted to kind of do a little bit of a rig update. I got the Fender's Blues Jr. You can see it next to me. It's the tweed new old stock version with the Jensen speaker in it. I picked up a SM57 to use to mic it and you know, do some acoustic stuff and whatnot with, so I'm excited for that. Also, you can see down on the floor, picked up the Line 6 M5. This is actually my second time owning this pedal. I had one for a while before. When I got my Pod HD, I traded it in because all those effects are built into the pod. And now that I'm using an amp, I wanted that pedal back. So I went to Line 6's website and picked one up refurbed for a pretty good deal. So, like I said, I'm not really going to be demoing any gear. Most of these pedals and stuff I've used on other videos, including the Line 6 M5, and there's lots of reviews online of the Blues Jr. that you can go check out. I basically just want to take some time to just show you some of the tones that I'm getting with this setup and just kind of let you know what I've been up to. So, for those of you that are subscribing to my channel because you like the videos that I've done with the Pod HD, fear not, because I still have my HD 500X and I'm still using it. I use it at church. Our stage setup there isn't really conducive to having an amp on stage. So I still am using my Pod HD and still plan to kind of release some videos and stuff using that. So, but I also will probably be doing some stuff with this rig and setup too, so I wanted you guys to get a chance to see that. So just to walk you through my pedal chain that you can see down there, I start with the MXR Custom Comp, and then I'm going into the MXR Micro Amp. Then I'm coming down to the EHX Soul Food, then into the Full Tone OCD, then into the Shelly Guitars OD Overdrive. Then I'm going up to my Boss DD7, which is controlled using tap tempo with the Boss FS5U. Then I go into the Line 6 M5 and then come out to the Ditto Looper before going to my amp. This little foot switch that you see down here is the T1M, or this one's mine, mini fixed expression pedal. I have another video on my channel where I talk about using that with the Pod HD. I am using this with the Line 6 M5, and basically what it does is it allows me to switch between two different settings of whatever patch or sound I'm using. So if I'm using a reverb sound, I can switch back and forth between kind of a light reverb or kind of a wash reverb where everything, you know, the mix and everything is set higher. If I'm using a delay, I can use it to control the number of repeats or the volume of the repeats. So if I want kind of lighter repeats for like a lead line or something, I can do that, and then I can switch to something where the repeats are higher in the mix. So if I'm doing kind of that U2 dotted 8 edge thing, where I want the repeats as hot as the input from the guitar, I can kind of switch back and forth between those two settings without having to create two different patches in the M5. So that's pretty cool. So let me just play through some of the tones. I'm using my Epiphone Dot clean tone on the amp. If you're curious about my amp settings, the volume is at about halfway. That's just kind of before it starts breaking up with this guitar. The treble is just below half. The bass, I believe, is right at half or maybe just above. The mids are actually back at about 9 o'clock. This amp, which is atypical for Fender amps, has kind of a punchy mid-range to it. I think it's a combination of the speaker and the cabinet that's on it. So I have the mids kind of dialed back. The master volume is, I think, around like 2, and the reverb is kind of in the same, around like 2. So I just kind of have the reverb dialed in a taste. So let me give you the clean tone. This is with the bridge pickup. Here's with the two pickups together. And the neck pickup. boost that a little bit with the micro amp. Here's back to the bridge pickup with the micro amp off. So you can see it set as soon as I start boosting it a little bit, the amp starts overdriving, which is pretty cool. I'm using the OCD in kind of a similar fashion. You notice that I've got the gain rolled all the way off, which is not completely clean. You cannot get a pure clean sound out of the OCD. There's always a little bit of gain there. But then I have the volume kind of turned up. So I'm using it as kind of a boost with it adding just a little bit of its own drive as well. I've got it set in low peak mode. So here is bridge pickup without. Back to the neck pickup. Here's the Shelly Guitars OD Overdrive bridge pickup. well, thanks for watching. That is the current rig that I'm using with my new Blues Jr. So thanks again. Have a great day. Bye.